And we've been joined by Coach Philip Montgomery from Tulsa. The Golden Hurricane begins its season Saturday against Central Arkansas at H.A. Chapman Stadium in Tulsa. The game will be at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central Time, and will be on ESPN3. Coach, thanks so much for joining us on the call this morning. If you take a minute to tell us how your preseason has gone as you lead into the season opener Saturday against Central Arkansas, please.
Yeah, we're excited about the season. We've had a good fall camp. Our guys came really prepared. I thought we were able to install and do some of the things a little quicker than we have in years past. Obviously, our guys have biggest point for us is trying to stay healthy throughout camp and making sure that we're prepared for a really tough game against Central Arkansas. I mean, a team that had 10 wins last year. Got a bunch of guys back on defense, and we know we're going to have our hands full. But we're excited about it and look forward to the season.
Okay, questions for Coach Montgomery, please. Press star 1 on your telephone keypad to join the queue. The operator will introduce you. And again, star 1 for questions for Coach Montgomery, please. Coach, I'll ask the first one. We have teams in the conference opening with conference games, others who are opening on the road against power conference teams and whatnot. You have an FCS opponent on your first one, but does it get your guys' attention and your attention on the coaching staff, knowing that there's a pretty good club coming in with 10 wins, a conference champion, and an NCAA playoff team from last year?
Yeah, we know we got a good football team coming to town. Like I said, you look at what they did last year and the guys that they got coming back, very, very talented. Our schedule continues to build and get harder and harder. I mean, we've got Central Arkansas this week, Texas the next week, and then Arkansas State the next. So we know that we've got a tough schedule. We know we've got a tough opponents. Right now we're focused on just one, which that being Central Arkansas, and knowing that it starts there.
Do you have other questions for Coach Montgomery, please? Try one on your telephone keypad. And we can go to the next question, please.
We will now take our next question from Mark Nudusu from Philadelphia Inquirer and Daily News. Please go ahead. Your line is open.
Hey, Coach, can you tell us how your quarterback situation is at this point?
Yeah, I feel really good about our room. We're still extremely young at quarterback, but Luke's had a good camp. Seth Boomer, who we redshirted last year, has had a really good camp. And then Chad President, who got injured in the last game, has really made his way back. And so we've got a good competition going on. But I'm pleased with the progress we've made in our room and the way those guys are operating right now. Excited to see what they're going to do on Saturday and how all of that plays out.
Have you named the starter yet?
I have not.
Okay, thank you.
Uh-huh.
And do we have any final questions for Coach Montgomery, please?
We will now take our next question from Chris Dave from NOLA.com. Please go ahead. Your line is open.
Hey, Coach. I just kind of had a general question about transfer quarterbacks. There seems to be such a rise in transfers at that position in recent years. What do you see as kind of some of the primary reasons for that?
Well, we got a transfer guy that has come in and has got to sit. I think a lot of it is just whether it be coaching changes that have happened at the place that they originally committed to, and or a lot of it goes back to, I think, those guys have been starters and playing a bunch in high school. When you redshirt, some things change maybe. If you're sitting behind a guy that's pretty good and you may have to be sitting for 3 or 4 years, that kind of deters some of that. And so I think guys are looking for an opportunity to go play and play now. And if they see an opportunity in an offense that fits them, I think they start really approaching that in a different way.
And is there something different about transfer quarterbacks and the number of them than what you might see transfers at other positions?
I don't know. Those guys get a lot more press when they transfer, but I don't know that it's higher than any other position. I mean, whether it's a receiver, a D lineman, an O lineman, there's guys out there transferring all the time. So I think the quarterbacks just get more press when they do it.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
We will now take our next question from Kelly Hines from Tulsa World. Please go ahead. Your line is open.
So playing 3 teams from Arkansas this year, plus Texas, it's having more of those regional non-conference opponents. Is that something that interests you? And, maybe that could generate more interest for home games, and then you have to travel shorter distances for those road games?
I think all those things matter, Kelly. I mean, having some closer opponents, you do have some more of the regional buy-in with some of that. I think that's just the way our schedule fell a little bit this year. That being said, you always like playing guys close to home, and a lot of times those games are very exciting and create a lot of juice when it comes to your program. So we're excited about our schedule. We know it's tough. With that being said, it's going to be we feel like it's going to be a fantastic turnout for our first game and our first couple of home games, with a lot of the different things that we've got going on here on campus, as well as adding the regional attraction of those opponents.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Coach, thanks so much for your time this morning. We look forward to hearing from you again next Monday.